rice production in Egypt, and and growing water level of ocean and growing water level of city and town in Egypt. So this is what we are going to talk. Why Egypt is so important. If we see paddy cultivation, then paddy cultivation is only in India. If you see paddy cultivation around the globe, then paddy cultivation typically happens in the eastern side of Uttar Pradesh. That side. Means in India, if you cut India in two parts, left side and right side, where through Kanpur and Nagpur and Kerala, Trivandrum, there is one line that goes to Jammu Kashmir or something like that, or some right. Then India is divided into two parts. Western part, the paddy cultivation is very less or negligible. Eastern part is full paddy cultivation. Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, okay, Odisha, Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, full West Bengal, Bangladesh, Northeast, and then onward. Burma, Thailand, and Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and then Yunnan province of China, and full Japan, and Philippines, Indonesia, and full. It is full paddy only. Means from that line to till Pacific Ocean, it is full paddy cultivation. But western part is generally millet production. Rainfall is less, millet production. But if you go western part, then there are two regions. I believe Mazandaran. Mazandaran is a region in Iran where little bit one district is there or one small state is there. Their paddy cultivation is there, and then Nile Delta. That's it. There are two patches only where paddy cultivation typically happens. Otherwise, from eastward from the line I am drawing, full paddy cultivation, full, full and full. So that side, if I say westward, then that's why called Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent is a subcontinent of rice cultivation. So till Nile Delta, it is Indian subcontinent. So when Nile River, it kinds of it originates from Lake Victoria. I believe it is in Uganda. So Uganda, Tanzania. So Kenya and Tanzania up to Mozambique, I believe rivers, they go and meet the Lake Victoria. And then from Lake Victoria, mind blowing, the longest river in the world, Nile River, it originates. And then I believe from Uganda, then it enters the Sudan. From Uganda, it enters Sudan, and now it is South Sudan. And from South Sudan, so this is White Nile. Then Blue Nile comes and it meets the White Nile. This is what I believe so. Al Khartoum, in Khartoum, they meet each other and then it becomes actual Nile. Otherwise, White River and Blue River, there are two rivers. They meet in the Khartoum and it becomes an actual Nile. And Nile then flows northward, and there is one peculiar point where Nile takes southward, and that point is very historic point. I believe it is in Sudan only. And then Nile takes northward and it enters the Egypt country. Then it crosses Al Qahira at the end of the Nile. Post Al Qahira, no one concentrate at that point because people think that Nile is going to meet Mediterranean Sea, that is part of Atlantic. But beyond Al Qahira only actual story begins. So beyond Al Qahira, the north of Al Qahira is called Lower Nile or Nile Delta. Mind blowing paddy cultivation. I believe 3 to 4% of the Egypt is that region Nile Delta. That's it. Otherwise, Egypt is and I believe 90 means maximum more than 60% population, they live in this delta only. This delta has rice cultivation and it is called the Indian subcontinent. It crosses Saudi Arabia and it goes till Nile Delta. Means Indian culture prevails there. Food habit to everything. It is as per Indian culture, people look like Indian only. They don't look like African people or some other people. white people or yellow people, whatever. They look like Indian people. So very heavy rice cultivation, paddy cultivation in Nile Delta. 3 to 4% of the Egypt geography lies in this region. That's it. And then more than 67%, I believe, is the area that is full paddy cultivation area. 10% of full Egypt, all along the Nile River in the Egypt, there is agriculture all along. But as someone moves northward, agriculture grows because Nile, the cultivation area along the Nile, it also grows. But post Al Qahira, also in English it is called Cairo, Al Qahira, the Nile forms a delta, means it now diverges into many branches, and go meet the Atlantic Ocean. That branch is full, it makes Nile Delta and full place paddy cultivation. Okay, we will read it through around more than 7 million ton of rice is cultivated there. Unfortunately, the population of Egypt is growing like anything. I believe 100 years back, it was 30 times less to it. The population was 30 times less to it. Now it has grown very high speed. Now, what are the endangered to the rice cultivation? First of all, it is a matter of surprise that that region is the highest rice cultivation region in full Middle East. Second would be Iran. And I believe in Africa, more than one third of the paddy is cultivated here only in this very tiny region. So rice cultivation, say more than 7.5 million ton of paddy is cultivated here. The quality of paddy is very high. Production per acre is also very high. More than 3 times, around 3 times to India cultivation. That much it is high. But this may not be the scenario in the future. The topic is rice paddy cultivation in Egypt, Nile Delta, and the endangered paddy cultivation. Endangered paddy cultivation in the sense that the Atlantic Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea is rising 1.2 millimeter per year. That is very high. Every 10 years, around 1 centimeter of water is rising. Now around 15% of the cultivation area is salted water now, since it is rising, and those region has no altitude. Means river is going to meet the sea. Delta region, they have no altitude high. In that sense, the 15% is completely ruined because of the salty water of the ocean. And other is the town and city culture is growing. Alexandria. Alexandria is a town city that is growing there. Al Cairo, this side, is full city town culture. Everyone is encroaching the paddy cultivation. So this is the scenario. I believe that it should be all right. What are the data that I will read through, and we will see how nice the kind of paddy cultivation in Egypt happens through. Someone should visit Nile Delta in Egypt, and he should actually confirm that it is part of Indian subcontinent. Means the culture that people. So I believe in Al Qahira only there is a pyramid, set of pyramid, Giza pyramid and this pyramid. That pyramid actually, that is the, I would say, that is the end of Indian subcontinent. That's why pyramids are made. Means from there, like in Easter Island, there are Maui. Maui is the statue that see westward. Means that is the end of this kind of, you can say that one particular region. From there, South America starts. Right? That the pyramid actually symbolizes that one region has ended. From south onwards, new region start, that is Africa. Till there, it is Indian subcontinent. That's why it was deliberately made those pyramids, because this is the end. So someone comes from Saudi Arabia side and he meets the pyramid, means country is over. Afterwards, there is different reason. That's how people generate. Then generally they erect a statue or pyramid or something like that. So in the Nile River Delta, so there now Egypt population is more than 100 million. 100 million, 10 crore people they live in Egypt, where only 3 to 4% area is cultivated area. Means highly populated, as like India, highly populated region. Okay, it is also called Lower Nile, and sea level 1.6 millimeter per year it is growing. 50% land is already salted, and city and town culture is other encroachment in the paddy area. This is very precious. In the Middle East, in the Africa, that region is the highest rice cultivating region. First of all, population should go down, and then still with this much high population, Egypt is the rice paddy exporter in the world. 60 countries Egypt export its rice. Means that high quality rice Egypt yield, cultivate. 7 million ton of the rice that is cultivated in this 4% region of the Egypt. 4.3 million ton is the internal consumption of the Egypt. Still around 3.2.7 million ton they export. They think that if population becomes 10% of it, earlier it was 3 million population, now 100 million. If it goes by 10 times low also, then Egypt will be like a developed country. Okay, because more than half is the consumption, then if 30%, 40% is the export, then there is no export. Internal consumption should be less than 1%. 1%. 99% should be the export. Then only it will be considered as export. Anyway, 3.5 ton per faden. Faden is 1.03 acre. 3.5 ton of the paddy they get per acre. 3.5 ton per acre. Whereas in India it is around 1.2 ton per acre. Means around 3 times more than India, the rice paddy cultivation is in Egypt. So nice. Means the the Nile Delta is highly kind of, it is highly fertile. Now Egyptian rice in the worldwide, what is its rate? It is 4 to 5 LE per kg. LE means around 7 LE is $1. 7 LE is $1. Okay, so 4.5 LE per kg means 4.5 by $7 per kg. 4.7, 4 to 5, if I say 4 also, 4 by $7 per kg. So that much it will be. Okay, so I believe it will come to around 60 cent. 60 cent per kg they export the rice. 4 to 5 LE per kg. 60 cent. 60 to 70 cent. Thailand rice, Thailand, I said that there is a line in India from middle of the India, eastern side only rice cultivation. So Thailand rice is sold globally at 7 to 15 LE per kg. That will result to around one, lower side is around $1 per kg to $2 per kg. India rice or Vietnamese rice, Vietnam, they are sold at 6.9 LE per kg, lower to Thailand rice, 6.9. And, and Egyptian rice is 4.5 LE per kg. Still, it is double, around double to the Egyptian rice. Means Egyptian rice is cheaper, high quality, cheaper. Only bad thing is very less rice they are exporting. Means more than half of them is consumption only. And basmati rice, that is typically Indian rice. Basmati rice is getting sold worldwide is 12.5 to 21 LE per kg. Around $2 per kg is the basmati rice. So Egyptian rice, so Egyptian government should promote it, and rather they should control the high rise in the population. Now problem in the Nile River is everywhere. I believe Sarwan, something like that, where there is a temple still, sun temple is there. So there, from there, the Nile River mostly it enters into Egypt. From there, only dam, 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 dam. And now in Ethiopia, from where the Blue Nile enters, I believe that is the Blue Nile and this is White Nile. It can be reverse also. So Blue Nile that enters from there, so that Nile there Ethiopia is making another barrage or a dam on it. Everywhere dam, 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 dam. Anyway, water is going less to the Nile Delta, then city town, then sea level is coming up. Then I don't know what people would eat. Sand, sand they will eat. That is the future rice. This is what it is. So that is the scenario, and it is Egypt is not the desert country what people believe. When people go to visit Egypt, they go Al Kahira and they visit the pyramid. It is something like you have just enjoyed not even 1% of the Egypt. Go and visit Nile Delta. Mind blowing, world class paddy cultivation.